Hello, this talk is inspired by a new part-time job I've recently taken up as a result of the COVID-19 crisis. The COVID crisis has left me on a shorter working week, which might sound good, but unfortunately it's accompanied with a drop in pay as well. And since I started working from home, I've found that I'm riding my bike a lot less than I usually would. So I thought I'd start working as a food delivery courier. I applied to the three most well-known food delivery couriers in the UK: Deliveroo, Just Eat and Uber Eats. Deliveroo don't have vacancies just now in my area. Uber Eats require the riders to get a rather expensive security check, so I said no to that one. Just Eat said yes. So for the last 3 or 4 weeks, I've been riding my bike for Just Eat. My schedule's not exactly busy, 1 3 or 4 hour shift per week, and within that shift I generally get 3 deliveries. It does mean a lot of sitting around waiting for my phone to beep at me. So the food delivery is now massive. So firstly, I'll give some background about this relatively new business idea, and then I'll describe my own experiences. Food delivery is growing rapidly all across Europe, at about 10% per year. Existing estimates, according to Deloitte, suggest that the market could be worth $25 billion by 2023. The major online platform providers, Just Eat, Deliveroo and Uber, are estimated to account for 80% of these deliveries, and the majority involve fast food. Approximately 65% of these deliveries are for dinner, so your evening meal. Growth potential in the breakfast and the lunch markets has been identified. The young are the major users of these services, with 18 to 24-year-olds estimated to account for 15% of all orders, which leads me to wonder whether they are just lazy or whether they're too busy to cook. Approximately 80% of British adults order a takeaway or home delivery at some point over the course of the year. Approximately 55% of Britons only order a restaurant or takeaway delivery every 2 to 3 months or so. But about 10% of people order at least once a week, and 20% of people about once per month. Those figures from Mintel in 2017. I was actually surprised at the 10% of people ordering once a week. I thought it would be higher than that. Only a bit higher, but still higher. An average order value for food delivery is about £20 based on figures from Just Eat and Deliveroo. And the takeaway and restaurant meal delivery market provided 180 million deliveries in the UK in 2016. Given that the main platform providers are estimated to account for 80% of all orders, an assumed delivery charge of about £2 suggests a total annual delivery expenditure by consumers of approximately £350 million in 2016. So if we take that 10% growth rate into account, that figure has risen substantially by now. The marketplace for takeaway and other home-delivered meals is exceptionally competitive. Just Eat is the largest platform provider in the UK. It has grown rapidly over recent years, with annual sales increasing from approximately £10 million in 2009 to £375 million in 2016. In the last year, Just Eat has reported revenue growth of 25%. To 248 million in just the third quarter of 2019. Now, the COVID-19 crisis initially resulted in a fall in sales in 2020 as many restaurants closed, so there was less food to deliver. But it has now actually benefited Just Eat and other delivery companies as restaurant kitchens have opened to make food specifically for the delivery market. Turning now to couriers, the people delivering the food. According to Warn in 2017, these are mostly young men, with 60% reportedly under the age of 25. I guess I might skew those figures a little bit, being closer to 50. The working hours for couriers are not exactly full-time. In March 2017, Deliveroo reported that over 50% of its riders or couriers worked between 0 and 10 hours per week. Almost a quarter worked between 10 and 20 hours per week, and less than 20% worked more than 20 hours per week. So it's not surprising then that most couriers report that delivering food is not their only source of income. In fact, Deliveroo showed that about 90% of couriers have another job as their main source of income, and only 4% work as a full-time courier. It's also not a job that people do for very long. Only 25% of couriers work for Deliveroo for more than 6 months. Looking at some job feedback sites like Glassdoor, where you can rate different employers and jobs, the main problem seems to be the lack of orders during any particular shift, which means that the earnings are not high. Too many couriers means more competition for shifts and more competition for deliveries within each shift. So that means a lot of waiting around for orders to appear on your phone. From the point of view of Just Eat or Deliveroo, too few couriers would mean not fulfilling orders quickly enough and potentially losing clients to competitors. As I say, I've been delivering for Just Eat for 4 weeks. Not sure how long I'll continue, as I only do it once a week. It's not particularly taxing, but nor is it lucrative. The lunchtime shift, which I've done 3 times, is mostly for Subway sandwiches. In the early evenings on Fridays, which I've done once, fish and chips is a popular choice, and donuts, 2 donut deliveries on that particular early evening shift. And as I mentioned, there is quite a lot of waiting around for the phone to ping with an offer of a delivery. As far as I've noticed, I'm the only courier in the town where I've been working who is doing this job on a bicycle. Most seem to be in cars, with a few on little mopeds. And that got me thinking, when the cash to be earned is so little, is the cost of running a car to do the work actually worth it? Fuel costs, general wear and tear on the car must seriously impact on a driver's earnings. For me, on a bicycle, the costs are not quite zero, but a fraction of the cost of driving. I need to fuel myself with some food and drink, and my bike needs to be in tip-top condition. Getting a mechanical issue while delivering 12 donuts to a hungry family would be absolutely no laughing matter. Touch wood, nothing has gone wrong yet. So with the rubbish pay, what are the benefits for me? Well, I get paid to ride my bike, which allows me to joke that I am now a professional cyclist. Love riding my bike. And when you have a delivery, the pressure is on to get the food to that customer as quickly as you can. So I find myself going as fast as I can to get to the customers' homes and then slowly ride back into the town centre. This is a great way to get fitter. 3 deliveries on my last Just Eat run left my legs feeling like I'd ridden 60 or 70 miles. I'd actually only ridden 20, but about 9 of those were at my maximum exertion levels. And of course, there's a little bit of banter with passers-by. On my last outing, I got the "Did somebody say just eat? Ooh," that little jingle from the adverts. Some research from Laetitia de Blanc from the University of Paris East provides a snapshot of cycle courier concerns. The 3 major concerns of couriers were as follows. Rain, cold, bad weather conditions. I can certainly understand that. I started doing this in late May, and the weather has thus far been quite nice, although it does get quite cold on the early evening shift, especially when you're standing around waiting for an order. The second problem is with the app on the phone and the GPS and the smartphone battery. I can certainly agree with that too. If Google Maps cuts out and you don't know where an address is, that's a bit of a disaster. And the app and the map certainly drains your smartphone battery very, very quickly. The third problem mentioned by de Blanc is congestion, pollution, and traffic. The town where I deliver is not too congested and doesn't feel particularly polluted. When the congestion is bad on any particular road, on a bike I'm actually quicker than a car, so that doesn't bother me too much. The press often run stories about courier riders who ignore road rules and ride their bikes dangerously through pedestrianised areas, jumping red lights, that sort of thing. My experiences from that, I have a lot of sympathy for them now. When you pick up a delivery from a restaurant, the only thing on your mind is to get there as quickly as possible while looking after the food. So in conclusion, being a courier is a great way to get fit, but not a great way to make money. As an industry, the business is booming, so perhaps a head office role at one of these companies would be more lucrative. As a courier, the only way to make more serious money is to be attached to more than one of the delivery platforms. In fact, if you search on YouTube for a guy called Joseph Kendrick, you can see how he tried to make £1,000 in a week through deliveries for Uber Eats and Stuart. The video is called £1,000 per week on a bike on Uber Eats and Stuart. So there we are. Thank you.